Hello dear students. Today we are going to start with the fifth chapter of geography, temperature. What do you mean by temperature? Just see the fifth chapter, temperature. See the perpendicular and slanting area occupied by the torchlight rays. See here, this is perpendicular and this one is slanting. Can you see the perpendicular as well as the second one is the slanting, occupying by the torchlight rays. Take a torchlight and keep it stable at one place. Take one torchlight and keep it stable without moving it on one place. Take two large paper sheets, large enough to accommodate its entire beam. See over there shown in the figure. You have to take two large paper sheets. Large enough to accommodate means to place over there the entire beam. Place the papers on two flat boards. Can you see the flat boards? Hold the board perpendicular to the beam figure, that is 5.1a. First one over there on the top, can you see? Hold the board perpendicular to the beam. Now draw the outline of the area lit up by the beam. Now you have to draw the outline of the area. Just see over there shown. Lit by the beam. Name the paper A. It is shown over here, paper A. Now use the other paper. Hold it in such a way that it makes the angle of 120 degrees. Can you see the second B figure over there? If you have textbook, please open the textbook and see it. Otherwise, I have shown beforehand. You have to see it over there. Then now use the other paper, hold it in such a way that it makes the angle of 120 degrees. With the beam figure 5.1b, second figure, draw the outline of the area occupied by the beam. Name the paper as B. Observe both the papers A and B. And now you have to tell. On which paper does the beam occupy a larger area? On which paper is the smaller area? Or on which paper is the area smaller? Now change the angle between the beam of the light and the paper. Observe the changes that occur in the area occupied by the beam of light. What is the relation between the angle of the paper and the area occupied by the beam? Now we'll go for the explanation. Just see what they're telling. Sun rays are coming towards the earth. Travel in straight lines. However, as the earth is spherical, means round in shape, these are not perpendicular to all the paths. It's not going to each and every part of the earth's surface. In some paths they are perpendicular, whereas in other paths they are slanting. Somewhere it is slanting and some in other parts they are perpendicular. Let us see what effect it has on the earth. The perpendicular rays occupy less area, that is figure 5.1a is occupying very less place. The part where the rays occupy lesser area receives bright sunshine. The rays which are occupying very less area is receiving more sunshine and greater heat. Hence the surface there gets heated more and the air becomes hotter. The slant rays occupy a larger area, that is figure 5.1b. In this area, sunlight appears less bright and there is less heat. And in this area, the sunlight is very less as well as there is less heat. Hence, the surface there gets less heated and the air too is less hot. Just see over here, do it yourself. The region marked A in the figure 5.2, I'll show you the back side. It is given. Next page, I'll show you what it is. I'll just go through it and then I'll show you the figure 5.2. Receives perpendicular rays while the region marked B receives slanting rays. And in the region marked C, the rays are extremely slanting. Using a scale, measure the lengths of the lit up portions on the Earth's surface in A, B and C regions. Now using a scale measure the length of the lit up areas on the Earth's surface, that is in A, B and C regions. What are they? See, measure the width the wideness of the rays shown between the earth and the sun. You have to measure the width. That means the wideness of the rays which are showing between the earth as well as the sun. Considering the parallels of latitude marked in the figure, tell the regions where the temperature will be high, moderate or low. Now considering these parallels of latitudes which are marking the figure in the figure, telling the regions where the temperature will be very high, where it will be moderate, where it will be low. Discuss this in your class and write the answers in your notebook. Just see, this is a figure, the Earth's shape and the distribution of sun rays. See here A, B, C, sun, and see the rays, see the perpendicular rays here in the corner, how it is going on the Earth. A is getting how much, what? Straight. B is getting a little slanting and C is getting more slanting. Can you see the perpendicular rays which are falling on the Earth? Explanation. Sun rays falling on the earth are straight and parallel to each other. Sun rays which are falling on the earth are straight as well as parallel to each other. However, we have seen that due to spherical shape of the earth and the resultant curvature, that is the curving of the surface, they occupy a larger or lesser area, and this leads to unequal distribution of the heat received from the sun, resulting in decreasing temperature from the equator to the north as well as to the south poles. Here sun rays, what are they telling? The sun rays which are falling on the earth are straight as well as parallel. That means you can say that is due to the spherical shape of the earth, there is a resultant curvature of the surface. The sun rays is occupying a larger or lesser area on the earth. This leads to unequal distribution of the heat received from the sun. Based on the unequal distribution of the temperature, that is heat, the earth can be divided into, now over here it is divided into torrid, temperate and frigid zones, or tropical temperature and polar regions. So it is said that based on the unequal distribution of the temperature, the earth can be divided into torrid, temperate and frigid zones, or even tropical or temperate and polar regions. So try to understand this from the figures 2.4 and 5.3. Just see this is 5.3, thermal zones. Just see on the top, frigid zone 90 degree, 66 degree 31 north, temperate zone 23 degree 30 north, equator just see, and this is a torrid zone, that is 0 degree, temperate zone 23 degree 30 south, frigid zone 90 and 66 to 30 degree south. Just see it properly. Though latitude is the main factor, there are other factors also which influence the distribution of temperature. Though latitude is the main factor, but there are some other factors which tells the distribution of the temperature. However, the effects are limited to a particular region. The effects are very less to the particular region. These factors are as follows. That is nearness to the sea, continentality, height above the mean sea level, and physical setup of a region are the factors that lead to diversity in the climate of different regions. Now here it is said nearness to the sea, continentality, height above the mean sea level, or the physical setup of a region are some factors that are leading to diversity in the climate of different regions. Other than these factors like cloud cover, winds, vegetation cover, urbanization, industrialization, etc. also influence the local climate. That means this also tells us about the local climate. That means latitude is the main factor influencing the unequal distribution of temperature. that is nearness to the sea, continentality, height above the sea mean level, physical setup of the region, okay, vegetation, urbanization, industrialization are the main factors, or other factors influence the temperature and the local climate. So over here there is some, can you tell how will the rays fall between 0 degree and 23 degree 30 north and south, 23 degree 30 and 66 degree 30 north and south, 66 degree 30 and 90 north and south? Use your brain power. Tell if the following statements is right or wrong. Give reasons. In order to understand the climate of region, the latitude extent is more useful than the longitudinal extent. So my dear children, go through the chapter, read it. I'll give you the notes. You copy it down, as well as you have to read the chapter again. Thank you. Have a great day.